Hello, welcome to a Smite video, and a video about Thanatos. Someone recently asked me, can you give me a build for Thanatos? I'm not going to give you a build for Thanatos because, quite frankly, the items change all the time in Smite, and well, it's not worth giving you certain items to be building because being cookie cutter sometimes doesn't actually work. Instead, I'm going to explain to you how I build Thanatos and why you should be building Thanatos this way. So, let's start, first of all, with a small disclaimer. I don't play Thanatos that often. I don't claim to be an expert in Thanatos. Play around with items and see what works and what doesn't work. Ask yourself questions. Does this item suit this character? Is this item giving me a benefit for the gold? Etc, etc. Thanatos is probably one of my favourite assassins, even though I don't play him that often. This is because he's actually quite fun to play. Anyway, moving on to the abilities. Looking over the abilities, you can see why Thanatos is built the way I normally build him, which is cooldown and penetration as well as defense. You will see Death Scythe here has a 60% scaling on it, however it doesn't do much damage overall and drops off quite a lot. In the early game though, it does increase quite heavily when leveled. Moving on now to Scent of Death. Scent of Death is an ability which gives you extra penetration and move speed. This means that if you build too much pen on Thanatos, you're not going to get the full benefit of it because it's going to go over the cap, which you already have a free 35 of out of 50. And finally, Soul Reap is a silence with not much damage on it again and poor scaling. His ultimate is Hovering Death. It allows him to execute targets below a certain threshold of health, and it gives him a stun as well as a movement speed bonus while in the air. It's worth pointing out that Thanatos for all of these abilities uses up health and gets health back based on kills, as you can see from his passive there. So, with this in mind, you can see that Thanatos scales poorly with power. He's more about his abilities, so this is why I build him with cooldown and defense, as well as a little bit of pen, to basically round it out so he sticks on people and he can basically stay around. If he gets a kill, he just sustains out the entire fight. This makes Thanatos incredibly deadly because he can keep going and keep going. Even when you think he probably killed him, he can kill you first and regen health. Okay, moving to jungle practice, let's look at Thanatos' hit progression when it comes to basic attacks. You can see that he has a 1, 0.75 and a 1.5 damage. What this basically means is Thanatos should not be built as a pure basic attack assassin. When you look at his abilities and his cooldowns, you will see that he has very long cooldowns. If you build cooldown reduction on him and then tankiness, he can stay around and fight people. Of course, he's not going to be doing much when it comes to his basic attacks, but they're nice to have them there. And that's why I build Thanatos the way I do. Because his damage falls off, he doesn't get much scaling from building damage. He gets more from building tanky with cooldown and a little bit of pen, as you basically become a giant nuisance as you execute people. So, in conclusion, Thanatos favours the following stats: cooldown, defense, and pen. You need to be careful with regards to pen because you can go over the cap quite easily with Thanatos due to Scent of Death, which at max rank will give you 35 out of 50 pen. This means that Thanatos only has space for one pen item, compared to some other gods which favour a lot of pen and have space for it. I'm not sure what else to say about Thanatos or how you should build him, because I think I've been pretty clear in explaining how you should build him and why you should build him this way. What I will say though is thank you for the comment on my video, and I hope that explains how you should be building Thanatos. If you have any more ideas or suggestions for videos, please let me know in the comment section. Oh, and one more thing to say. Hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe,